Back in there?
Yes. That one. Okay, this is for Alpha Take 2. We had some bad camera stuff.
Table talk.
The not so.
Welcome back to another episode of the Not So Round Table. I decided to surprise George today with a cool new toy I got. It makes your voice louder. I'm sure that was extremely loud in your microphones, and I apologize. Well, it's gone now, but Shades gave me that with the intention of annoying everyone in the office, and this is my first opportunity to use it.
How'd you keep that thing hidden?
I kept it in a drawer. So, you know how it works here on the Not So Round Table. We answer questions from our helm of reason to the best of our ability, kind of give our opinions and insight into the world of Airsoft. And this episode where we're filming the week before we head to SHOT Show. SHOT Show's next week for us. So depending on when you're seeing this, we may either be there or have just gotten back.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to do a special when we're at SHOT Show, which would be kind of cool. Kind of answer some questions while you see the convention going on around us. So depending on how we can make that work.
All right. Well, let's get right into it here.
Yes, sir. Picking questions. Here it goes.
CyberGoth665. What do you guys think about SB199, and do you guys plan on fighting it?
Interesting.
That's a somber question, but it's a good question.
Okay.
The ASF and us obviously are spearheading an attack to obviously fight the bill. If you don't know what the bill is, it's kind of an evolution of all the legislation that's been going on in California over the past few years. So what we are doing is obviously we are working with vendors and you know the ASF. We are a huge part of the ASF. And
Airsoft Safety Foundation.
The ASF is, some people kind of get mad at them because they're not very active, but you have to understand is, you know, they're active when they need to be, and they are on the line at all times fighting these bills that, you know, you guys think that they're not doing anything, they're doing stuff. And it's very hard for, you know, I mean, the ASF is run by the organizations. That's all the vendors and retailers that are a part of it. You
guys may remember when 798 first came out, there was a really big... the community of Airsoft really came together and supported both us and the ASF in fighting 798, and the amount of people that turned out in Sacramento for the opposition of that bill, as well as the continued support from Airsofters writing their Congress people and stuff like that, was really helpful.
Yeah.
And that question is a great way to again extend that challenge or that request for help from you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna need a lot of help.
We as a vendor can only do so much.
Yeah.
And it really, or a retailer, can only do so much. And it really would be helpful if you guys, if you're in California, and even if you're not, I mean, I don't know how far you're going to be able to help if you're not in California. But if you are a California resident and you feel like writing or doing something to help fight SB 199, write to your state representative, your state Congress people. Let them know that that you're an Airsoft player and that the community is a safe one and a responsible one. Remind them that the people that are breaking the law with Airsoft guns are not Airsoft players. These are people that are not part of our community, and regulating the community would be detrimental to both, in an economic way for California because it is such a large industry here, but also destroying, a pastime of a lot of residents here in California. And it has to start with one state, and other states will follow.
The main thing is be patient when we ask you guys to help us fight it. Help us fight it. It's very simple. Yeah. That's pretty much that's all you need to do as an Airsofter if you're concerned. Is if you're like, well, what do I do?
Maybe we can post some links in the description too.
Just wait, and as we get more information of what we're doing and what we need your help with, we will let you guys know for sure. All right, let's get on to some happy stuff.
All right, happy stuff. Here we go.
Happy stuff, unless it's like a downer question.
This one is from William Edwards. Hey, thanks for reading my post. You're welcome, William. Could you tell us the point of a MOSFET?
Yes. There's different types of MOSFETs.
Yes. Okay, so...
explain how a MOSFET... All right, you explain how a MOSFET...
I don't use a MOSFET.
Okay,
so...
you explain how a MOSFET works, and then I will go from there. How about that?
Okay. So, originally, in the olden days of Airsoft, a way of regulating a surge of electricity or a malfunction electrically in a gearbox was to include a fuse. And when a fuse popped, you could replace it, and that was kind of the only fail-safe you had. The innovation of a MOSFET into Airsoft was taking an existing electronic unit that's meant for regulating voltage and applying voltage in a certain way
getting
while
too
including
complex.
a failsafe.
Simplify it.
Okay, basically, what a MOSFET does is it includes a fuse most of the
Yes.
time that is resettable, so you don't have
Yes.
to replace it, and it is able to provide an electronic control and buffer to an electronic signal. What that means is that your battery life will be better and extended because the control is there and it's not overcharging or undercharging a battery, like overusing. Because the signal is regulated, it's a more reliable connection. And with the amount of controls you have over MOSFETs now, it allows you to fine tune both the rate of fire, the duration of the amount of shots, so you can have a burst fire if you so chose. So those options really give you a whole lot more customizing ability with an AEG.
Okay, so basically how a MOSFET works is it uses the trigger as almost like an on and off switch, like you use in your house, to send power from the battery directly to the motor. And then it can compensate for that, like you said, with rate of fire. You can do things like if you have specific programmable ones, such as the ASEU, or I have a Chimera, or Chimera, or the Spectre, and those will allow you to program via the trigger of what you can do. So you can do 2-round burst, 3-round burst. You can have pre-cocking. You can have all these different features that help the performance of your gun. What I like about a MOSFET is if you're using semi a lot, it will improve the life of your battery dramatically.
That's like the number one thing when we started using LiPos. They were like, do not go semi-auto all the time because you'll puff your battery.
Well, you'll puff your battery, but it's also it kills the battery much faster. You'll lose power much quicker. So a MOSFET is always a good upgrade. That said, I had a lot of problems with my MOSFET.
It does take the learning curve.
Yeah, the learning curve is dramatic. Like, I burned at least a few wires going on mine just because there were so many different wires, and now luckily the ASEU and the Spectre are much better wired, so they don't have the issues that I had.
Which is why I don't use one, because I'd probably melt my gun.
Now that you've seen my MOSFET working properly.
That's amazing. And Ryan's gun?
Yeah,
oh
Ryan
my gosh.
and Ryan's gun, who we'll have on this channel very shortly. It either happened before this video is uploaded or after. His gun is also with a Spectre or Chimera MOSFET, and it is a...
I think you use a... I don't know.
Yeah, well, either way,
Yep.
amazing results if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing and you just want to just go around and shoot people, don't get one.
Next question. I don't think we answered that question at all. We just kind of...
No. What was it?
No, we did.
Okay.
We did, but it
just
wasn't... yeah.
Okay, this is Draka I-27. Everyone's favorite camo. That's question mark.
Oh, okay.
That's simple.
Everyone's favorite camo.
What's your favorite camo, man?
Well, I know your favorite camo. But
no, you don't. All right, hold on. Let's. All right. What do you think my favorite camo is?
Tiger Stripe.
Nope, you're wrong.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
Okay.
But you always wear Tiger Stripe.
Doesn't matter. That's because of my team. That is not my favorite camo. Anyway, what is your favorite camo?
My favorite camouflage is multicam.
Okay, why is multicam your favorite camouflage?
There's a couple reasons.
Okay.
Multicam is, I think, one of the most adaptable camouflages. For example, in a desert environment, I can throw on a tan vest and some tan gear, a pair of tan boots, and multicam looks more tan.
Correct.
It fits very well in an arid or desert environment, and because of the design of the splotches, it really helps to break up your figure. Now, conversely, if I go to a woodland environment, I throw on a green vest, a pair of darker boots, and some green accessories, all of a sudden that multicam looks even greener.
Yeah.
And it works very well in a woodland setting. So in terms of a one camo that kind of does everything, I think it's perfect.
Okay.
Why Cry decided to develop different versions of their multicam platform, I guess they're trying to make it more effective for each. Yeah, and that's
what it is. But
I don't think we need a black multicam.
And we'll be checking out the new multicam when we go there when we go to SHOT Show.
Definitely.
Multicam, I agree, is a very nice camo. It is not my favorite camo though,
So what's your
because
favorite?
I'll tell you my favorite in a minute. It's actually pretty unique. The reason the reason that a multicam and maybe some of these other camos aren't my favorite is I like to be a little bit different. My group of guys I run with, they like to be different. Well, you assume Tiger Stripe because that's my team camo. It's Tiger Stripe because they've been running it since the early 2000s because we've been around for so long.
Yeah.
But I mean, now people are starting to use Tiger Stripes, and we're kind of disappointed because it was
So
like
you're
that
changing
was
it
like
up.
no, we're not changing it up necessarily, but we've made iterations, other SOPs and stuff like that. But my favorite camo is actually Swedish M90, and I actually paid a lot of money to get a set The
Is
reason,
it that really lightweight set you have? That one,
yeah. But it's the reason is first off, it's really unique, and also because I'm Swedish descent, it was kind of like a personal thing for me, you know.
Sure.
And then I do have a full set of Swedish M90. I wore at Red Storm. Even though I was Russian, it was greenish, and no one really knew what it was. But
the Swedish are basically Russian.
Yeah, right. You know, if you want, you could see it in the Red Storm video. I think in one shot, you'll see me running, and you can see somebody in the Swedish M90. I guess that's.
So
but
for any other airsofters that run Swedish M90, comment and give them some props because I don't know anybody else that runs it.
And you know what's sad is the camo is more expensive than most.
Oh, I'm sure.
Multi-cam camo.
I'm sure.
All right, you're up. That was a good question. I like that. I surprised everybody.
Surprised me. I would not have guessed that.
Uh-huh.
Our next question comes from Kyle Danville. What are your thoughts about hydro dipping your airsoft gun if it is worth the money?
How much money are we talking?
Okay, so hydro dipping, also known as hydrographics. I've seen it. I watch a lot of like car shows and like
here he goes.
Motorcycle shows, and I've seen hydro dipping used on like How It's Made or whatever the show was. Like I've seen it done, and like it's literally a bucket of water, and then there's like a film, and then you've got your graphic on this film, and then they have a spray-on solvent that dissolves the under film, almost like the backing of a sticker, right? And then you dip your item through it, and it looks really cool, and I'm totally down for it. Here's the thing, though. I'm sure the learning curve is pretty steep to get it nice. Like the ones that I've seen where people come out with some really sick stuff. Like there's a technique to it. So learning the technique would take a couple tries. And it's my understanding that hydrographics film is not the cheapest stuff in the world. Whether it's worth it for and the other thing is that usually after you hydrographic something, I think you have to clear coat over it so that it doesn't chip off. So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I think spray painting it might be the easier way to go.
I mean, it depends how much money it is. I mean, if I'm paying somebody the price more than like if I'm paying them like $100+ to hydro dip a receiver, it's kind of ridiculous.
Especially with the stuff that you've come out with, like when you did your helmet, right? You stretched over that.
But I only did that in my helmet. I never painted a gun before.
I imagine you could use the same.
Yeah,
technique.
you could use the same technique, but I mean, I don't know. I think that what I like about paint on guns, particularly, is you get that grunge factor, and that makes. I mean, if you look at the guys who are coming back overseas, or they paint their guns and they look like crap. You know, like they just throw them around all over the place.
Well, but you and I don't really like pristine airsoft guns anyway.
Yeah.
I like them to have scratches and look beat up. And
yeah. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break, and since you surprised me with your stupid National Guard horn thingy, I have a special gift for you, belated Christmas.
Really?
Yes. This is from a person who sent you bacon cookies.
Can I read? I'm going to read the. Okay. He sent a note. Dear Matt, on a previous Not So Round Table show. Period.
The first one.
Oh.
Was it the second one?
I don't know. Let me see here. Question came up: bacon or cookies? Oh, bacon or cookies? Yeah. That's
Jet.
You and Jet you guys were all cookies, and I was bacon, and then we crossed, and then we talked about bacon cookies. Well, okay. So this is a tough question, but thinking about it, why not both? So included is the answer to this dilemma. These are cookies with maple sugar, candied bacon, chocolate chips, and almond flour, made by my wife Jennifer. Jennifer, thank you. Will you leave your husband and fly here and make cookies for us if these are bomb?
Wow.
Just kidding. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right. Enjoy. My son Noah and I will be in your area on the 2nd and 3rd week of June 2014. This will be for Noah's high school grad gift. Well, congratulations on your graduation, and I will see you in June. He wanted to play a week of Airsoft in California for his college. We'd love to stop by and get a tour. Definitely. Hit me up before that on my Facebook, and we'll organize something. Maybe a studio audience for one of your shows, hopefully a game or two. Thanks for all the great videos. Hope you have a wonderful 2014. From Joel and Noah Budkowski. Call sign Stugman and Grimm. Team Wiggles Airsoft, Minnesota. Dude, Wiggles. Minnesotans are like the nicest people in the world. It reminds me, Ryan.
It's that Midwest. It's that Midwest, man.
He's from the Midwest. So.
I'm not from the Midwest. My dad's from the
Midwest. Isn't it? I guess. Okay, let me see here.
I already kind of looked at them a little bit. They look really good.
I was gonna say we got a whole bunch of paper. Are we eating one on camera? Can we do that?
I don't know if I want to.
Would you share a cookie with me?
I'm afraid to eat one on
camera.
No,
let's do this. Here, grab one of those.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm so down with that.
Wow, it's actually really good.
The bacon adds like this. It makes it really smooth. And the chocolate chips, I'm down.
Okay. going back to the question, bacon, cookie, Pizookie.
Bacon cookie. Dude, if I had a little bit of ice cream right now.
No, I know, but I'm saying in a Pizookie. You know what a Pizookie is?
Yes.
Okay, with ice cream on top. It would be amazing. This is really good.
Mm-hmm. I think we're done here.
Yeah. Should we answer any more questions?
Nope. I'm busy. Oh. Jennifer, the whole Butkowski family. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. These are really good. Wow.
Want to
try one, Roger?
Yeah. Later. All right, one more question. I'm just kidding. Here, have a cookie.
All right.
Grab it.
I figured I'd surprise you with that.
Thank you.
He asked me to surprise you. Wow. Come on, let me get some water.
I like the maple bacon. Like, you can taste that.
All right. Anthony Witowski.
Witowski.
All right.
Another.
I don't even know what that is.
Is that Polish?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Love the vids. What's the difference between a Picatinny and Weaver rail? That's simple.
I think you're an expert on this, right?
No.
No, it sounds.
All right,
like
Picatinny rail is the standard like mil spec setup where it's basically you have the bays. It's pretty standard now. You see them almost in everything. So, I think that compatibility wise, I think anything that's meant for a Picatinny rail will only work on Picatinny, but anything that's designed for a Weaver rail will fit on a Picatinny as well.
Or is it the opposite way? I think Weaver is specific, and Picatinny will work on Weaver.
I think you're right. It's
something like that.
I don't know the exact. I will put an annotation to the correct answer right here.
Right there.
And so the difference is just the spacing between the Weaver system is kind of like an older system. I think. Don't quote me.
So this is how you know we don't prepare for these questions, because neither of us really know the answer.
Go with Picatinny.
So
don't use Weaver at all. Weaver's like for BB guns.
Well, okay, but for Airsoft, I think the standard for all rail platforms, for the most part, is Picatinny.
It's like 95 to 5.
So, and I think Picatinny is whatever. Anyway.
All right. Well, I'll answer that question.
Good question. Stumped. We were both stumped. What do we got? Okay. Ben Kovala asked what our favorite morale patches are.
What's your favorite?
My favorite morale patch. Mine is the room service one we got at SHOT Show last year from Mil-Spec Monkey. Remember he gave us that whole wallet of patches that he had?
Yeah.
And there was that yellow room service one, which we actually have at Evike now.
Yeah, he's a really fun guy too. He's a cool guy. Very, don't make fun of people.
I'm sorry. He'd be very effective in a low-walled situation in a CQB field.
Man, I have a lot of morale patches. I'm trying to think. I'll go with probably my newest one, which is my ITS tactical or ITS grow a pair.
Oh wow!
Patch.
I didn't even see that.
That I've put on this jacket here. So I'm gonna go with that. My favorite Mil-Spec Monkey one though is probably gonna be the Stay Classy.
The Stay Classy is good too.
I like the Stay Classy. Or the Honey Badger is really good.
The Honey Badger one's pretty funny.
I don't know.
I haven't seen anybody wear that.
I have one. I have one like, I don't know. I collect patches. I got a problem.
I don't collect patches so much. I think my room service one and
my patch wall is like filled border to border, and it's pretty big. So I got a problem. But my turn again.
It is.
Tom Taylor, what are your thoughts on wearing a backpack while playing?
Oh, yes.
Depends on the game. I mean, I played CQB the other day, and I don't need a backpack for that. But for anything that's a longer period of time, anything longer than, an hour, I'd say you want a bag.
I think it depends on what you're classifying as a backpack, because we've said on multiple occasions that hydration is the best thing. And if you're not running around with a bottle on the field, then you should have a camelback. And your camelback is probably in some sort of storage apparatus, which could be classified as a backpack.
Well, it was like the mistake I made when I first went to Integrity Tactical Solutions down in San Diego. When I played there, I didn't know the games were like about an hour, and it was hot. It was like July. It was ridiculously hot.
And I got shot in the crotch.
And so I was running around, and I didn't put my hydro on my plate carrier. It's like, I don't need no hydro today, and I'm like, ugh.
Well, I've run it both ways. I've run with the vest that I'm running now. It's got an integrated backpack that holds my hydration bladder.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I've also run it in another way where I was running like a chest rig, and I was wearing a backpack on top of that, similar to what Jet does when he's got that side slung backpack. And that was really advantageous, having a detachable backpack, because then when I needed to do reloads or I needed to grab something out of my bag, I could just, take it off, get done what I needed to get done, and I didn't necessarily need a teammate with me to grab things out of my backpack. I think both are a great solutions.
Well, the thing is, if what I've noticed when playing is if you have things on your bag, you just have things that are that you don't need right away, that you can survive with.
I don't do that.
Okay, so like
I play Airsoft.
Like I have a battery or BBs or like food back there. I don't have, but I still have my, I don't store extra magazines or grenades or anything that I need to get quickly is on a part where I can get it. That's just my opinion. All right.
I need to revise my loadout.
Last question.
All right.
You don't need to revise your loadout. Your loadout's a good loadout.
Last question. This one's from Jackson McMaster. That is a cool name.
That is a cool name.
What do you think about modular rail systems versus full rail systems?
Okay, I know what he's talking about. So like
the ones where you can move the rails?
Yeah, for example, so you have like a full Daniel Defense rail system, which is the rail goes from front to back. Adds a lot of weight.
It does.
I personally really like the Troy TRX rail. That's the one I have with the little holes.
Okay.
I think it just looks cool, but it also is very light.
And the key mod.
the key mod rail is really cool as well. Mm-hmm. But the key mod, what I didn't like about the key mod rail was a little bit of the texture, a little bit of, But for right now, I'm using the TRX. Very happy with it. I have two guns that run it, so it's cool as I can move stuff between the two really quickly. The disadvantage is moving the rails. If you need like a rail in the center of the rail with it's attached to the barrel, is really hard. You have to like hold a screwdriver and do like this weird thing.
Okay.
So that's what kind of I don't like about it. But I mean, like a real true key mod rail is pretty cool.
Okay, so I think to summarize, modular rail systems are advantageous because
they're lighter.
Because they're lightweight and you can only use the rails that are necessary.
But
which results in a smaller profile.
Yes.
However,
the disadvantage is you have to do a lot to be able to set them up.
Right.
If you're changing things around, like you're adding a pec box one day or you're adding a vertical grip another day, blah blah blah.
Especially if you're just experimenting and you don't know exactly where you want everything yet.
Yeah.
The modular system is more difficult to set up initially.
Yeah.
So full rail systems tend to be easier right out of the gate. With that said, both of my favorite guns happen to use integrated full rail systems.
Yeah.
M27, 416. Even my SCAR uses full rails.
It's okay. You don't have the issue. You remember when you went at Irene, you just put your flashlight on very easy. So
that's true.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. We will see you hopefully next week for we'll have a lot of stuff coming up for SHOT Show. We're looking forward to that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna do a little bit different than we've done in the past. We're gonna do a lot more videos, but they're gonna be coming out in the week after versus during the show, so we get to see more stuff.
We'll change it up.
All right, guys.
Thanks for tuning in once again. We'll see you next time.
And thank you for the cookies.
Yeah.